It's time for more holiday hoops. This time, Madison Square Garden plays host as Julius Randle and the Knicks look to stave off elimination tonight from the inaugural in-season tournament. But to do so, they'd have to cool off the hottest team right now in the league. I mean, I'm talking literally. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, who are 9-1 in their last 10 games. This is NBA Countdown. Let's get it.
All together now.
Right, it's the NBA in-season tournament. All 30 teams in the league compete for early season bragging rights at the championship in Las Vegas. Here they come.
The NBA Countdown presented by DoorDash.
Welcome into NBA Countdown. I'm your girl, Chanel Gumake, and he is Mr. Kendrick Perkins. Perk, how much damage did you cause at Thanksgiving yesterday? Did you shake the table?
I ate the table.
NBA Countdown is presented by DoorDash, the official partner of the NBA.
Janae and Perk here. All right, final thoughts. Who do you have in this matchup, Knicks Heat? What are you watching?
Well, I'm watching Jalen Brunson and Jimmy Butler. Two dogs go at it, right? Two underrated dogs, two bucket getters. That's what I'm watching tonight.
I'm watching the big guys. I'm watching Julius and I'm watching Bam. It's going to be good in the paint. I thought you were going to go with the big guys because you're a big guy, especially after Thanksgiving.
All bigs like to be small.
That is true. Time to get you back to the Garden with Breen, Doris, Doc, and Cassidy. Take it away.
Doc!
We've got the Miami Heat against the New York Knicks on an NBA Friday presented by State Farm. It's part of the inaugural in-season tournament. Beautiful Friday night for Lady Liberty in New York City, where we kick off our Friday night doubleheader between the Knicks and the Miami Heat. And of course, Thanksgiving weekend continues. A time for some fun family moments as this in-season tournament goes toward the knockout round. Still in group play as Bam Adebayo and the Miami Heat so far undefeated in their in-season tournament. Meanwhile, for the Knicks, they need a victory tonight to keep their hopes alive to get to Las Vegas. As Jalen Brunson and the Knicks finally back home after a long road trip. And Jimmy Butler set to go. They're at the end or near the end of a long road trip, the Miami Heat. And good evening, everyone, with Doc Rivers and Doris Burke. Mike Green on hand, Cassidy Hubbard with us as well. It's always a fun matchup with the Knicks and the Heat. You feel like you're back in the 90s sometimes, even with the way things are played. Let's start with Miami. You know, I asked you earlier today, what do you see from the Heat? And your answer was the same things I always see from the Heat.
It really is. They're just remarkable. You know, they struggle. They start off struggling at the beginning of the season, and then bam, they win 9 out of 10 games. They're scoring 10 more points. But it all comes to two guys to me. Jimmy Butler, we all know about. But bam, it's like you put those two guys in and you plug in everybody else and they just win.
And they're doing it again, once again, 10-5 overall. Meanwhile, Doris, when we look at the New York Knicks, the perception around the Knicks has changed, and mainly because of the arrival of a certain player.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, interestingly, arrives as a very good player, second-round pick out of Villanova, but he's taken his game to an entirely different level, driving a ton of winning here. The most notable change in his game this year, the level of aggression from three-point territory. It's a huge emphasis for the entire group, but Jalen sort of leading the way there.
So first meeting of the season between these two teams. We look at our starting lineup delivered by Taco Bell. And obviously, Tyler Hero is still out. Duncan Robinson out tonight, so Josh Richardson, his second start. Haywood Highsmith's been in the starting lineup for a while. Meanwhile, for the Knicks, this is the starting five for Tom Thibodeau. They are whole and have played extremely well when they've been completely healthy. And as mentioned for the Knicks, they're just back from a 5-game road trip. Miami Heat, this is the 4th of a 5-game road trip, so they can't wait to go home. They've got tonight and tomorrow night in Brooklyn against the Nets. And this is the first in-season tournament game at home for the Knicks